Hello friends, this is Grief speaking. Last week we went into the world of advertising and looked at some unintentionally creepy commercials. Well, this week I want to check out advertising's annoying cousin, public service announcements. PSAs have a tendency to get really dark, and that's typically on purpose because the more you're scared, the more effective they are. So PSAs really have all the incentive to be highly disturbing, and they often get away with subject matter that usually wouldn't find its way onto television. I think it's fair to give a warning that some of these are pretty disturbing to watch, not just visually but conceptually. So viewer discretion advised, yada yada, and without any further bullshit, let's just get into it. We can't talk about public service announcements without talking about smoking. I mean, come on, that's their bread and butter. One that stood out to me is from 1985. It's a sort of cheeky concept about what a natural-born smoker's body would look like. It's actually got some pretty cool makeup effects and is shot like a dark scene from an 80s horror movie.
Highly developed index and middle finger. Smaller ears because they don't listen. Extra eyelids to protect the eye from irritating smoke.
A more modern smoking PSA that's pretty bizarre features a man smoking a cigarette that just starts growing cancer on it with every puff. The CG looks pretty good here, and something about the mix of an inanimate object growing a disgusting fleshy tumor is just plain freaky.
15 cigarettes you smoke will cause a mutation.
You know what they say, if you're not smoking cigarettes, you're probably smoking meth. Okay, no one's ever actually said that before. Here's a PSA about meth. This one just escalated so quickly, and it might be overacted, but it's still pretty jarring to see. I mean, imagine this comes on during the commercial break of How I Met Your Mother.
They're gonna kill me! No, Anthony! No! No!
This isn't normal.
No! Who are you?
But on meth,
Who are you?
it is.
I'll kill you!
Let's scale it back here on the drugs a little bit and get into some drinking PSAs. Here we have a really creepy one where children are seeing their parents as literal monsters. The idea being that your children might see you differently while you're drunk. Whether you agree with the premise or not, it's very uncomfortable to watch, and somehow the last one you see, which is a man in a ski mask, is the most unnerving. We're about to look at another drinking PSA involving children, but I just want to say these next few clips are gonna get pretty heavy. So if you are particularly perturbed by violent situations involving children, I would get off the bus here. As for the rest of you sickos, let's keep it moving. This one starts off pretty fun. It's just Uncle Mark having a good time at a family get-together, playing with the kids, having a brewski. Fast forward to later in the evening and shit goes south real fast.
Airplane man. No, you're right.
Can I even show this on YouTube? I'm not even completely sure what this is about. I guess drinking responsibly? All I know is I just watched a kid become yeet meat and I'm a little freaked out right now. While we're on the topic of dead kids, wow, that sounds really weird saying out loud. Anyway, this one speaks for itself, but the imagery is dark to say the least. Okay, you know what? After that last one, this one seems a little brighter, a little more upbeat. We got some cute little school kids going on a field trip or something, and okay, here's a handsome young man leaving for work, I guess. It seems a little unrelated, but still nice. All seems well, all seems good, you know? It's a nice little break from some of the darker videos we watched, and oh my god! What the f was that? I mean, talk about a twist. I thought this was going to be about underpaid teachers or something. I didn't know I was going to watch some kids get caught up in a splatter spree. I mean, for Christ's sakes, I thought it would at least cut away or something, not show them getting smushed like Play-Doh. It's almost funny, and I don't mean to make light of it or anything, but it's so insane, so suddenly, it just feels like a dark comedy or something.
Shame on you. You can never control the consequences if you speed.
This PSA from 1987 is one of the more high concepts of the bunch. So let's say you need to make a PSA about the AIDS virus, right? And you need to convey how many deaths that it's racked up. Well, what's the best way to do that? I know, how about you take the Grim Reaper, have him bowl, and the AIDS victims are the pins?
Could be devastated by it.
Seriously though, that's exactly what this is. There's a part where you think it might have a little bit of mercy when a mother and a baby are spared, pardon the pun, but then BAM!
If not stopped,
Really? Did we need to see the baby get taken out like that? I mean, I'm not trying to laugh here, but what the f? The next few PSAs are all concerning safety in the workplace, starting with the confused young kitchen worker who gets a little makeover.
It's heavy. Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's...
God, that makes your body hurt to see. In the same series of PSAs was a similar one that takes place on a construction site. Once again, it's a kid who just doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and he takes a nail to the goddamn eyeball. Here's another couple workplace safety videos from the same association. Both are pretty graphic, starting with this one where we see a man whose hand gets caught in a machine. It's just so brutal. Another one features a man getting his whole upper body smashed in a machine. Just seeing his partially smashed face is so disturbing. I have to hand it to whoever did the practical effects on these because they look better than most safety PSAs, and honestly they look on par with something from a horror movie. I like that they aren't adding any extra narrative or sad music or anything here, they're just blunt. I mean, the images definitely make me cringe in a I don't want to see that kind of way. And so overall, these work safety ones are probably the most effective. They keep it simple. It's just, here's a guy smashed up in heavy machinery, and it could easily be you if you're not careful. No bullshit, straight to the point. Now, let's talk about a PSA that is not so obvious. Meet Graham.
The truth is that cars have evolved a lot faster than we have.
The strongest man cannot hold himself from going forwards in a car accident because the forces are so great.
The most significant part of the body for injury is the head. Our bodies are just not...
Although this is just a 30-second video, Meet Graham is actually a fully interactive PSA. I couldn't help but check out the website, and it's really weird. Essentially, Graham is a sculpture made by Patricia Piccinini. She's an artist whose work I could honestly do a whole video on because, ugh. Anyway, the whole thing is made to point out that our bodies aren't meant for car crashes, and Graham is supposed to be a human whose body did evolve to survive a wreck. It's honestly all a pretty cool concept, but I do have one question, and it may be a dumb one, but... Why the f*** does it have 2 rows of nipples? I mean, seriously, how does that affect it at all in a car wreck? So on the website it says that these are supposed to be air sacs that work sort of like mini airbags. It still doesn't quite explain why the little sacs have nips on them, but I digress because I really can't keep looking at Graham's multiple useless titties any longer. Just put on the one where the dog has a gun to its head.
Please give us a pound, or we'll have to pull the trigger.
Yeah, you guys thought I was joking, but for real, this is an animal rights PSA where they pull a f***ing gun on a dog and threaten to pull the trigger if you don't donate. Oh my god, this is just genius. I mean, we should just do ads like this for everything. I mean, hey, donate or we're gonna shoot a poodle. We could solve world hunger in no time. The same organization made this TV spot, which seems all fine and dandy. It kind of plays like a commercial for a product. Just some kids and a cute little puppy. That is until you get to the end of the video.
When all the fun's over, it's easily stored away.
I don't even know what the point of this one is. I mean, it says pets aren't toys, but if you're the type of person drowning puppies, I don't think you're going to give a shit about a PSA. And the people who are disturbed by it wouldn't do it in the first place, so I don't know. It just doesn't really make sense to me personally, but I mean, what the do I know? I don't even have a face. I wanted to end on a more upbeat note, so this is a really bizarre PSA about sharing nudes online. But it's not even geared towards teens. It's clearly aimed at children, so it just comes off like a comedy bit you'd see on Adult Swim or something.
Newsflash! The world sees Alex's willy.
Alex even got a message from a bully. He then got one from a man he didn't know. Sometimes children share things they shouldn't online.
How am I supposed to take this seriously when the comedic timing is that on point? I mean, I don't mean to make light of a serious issue here, but at this point it's on them. Anyway, that's all I got for you today, folks. I hope you weren't too unsettled by today's video. Let me know if there's any more PSAs I should check out in the comments below. Subscribe if you're into that kind of thing, and as always, this is Grief speaking. Goodbye, friends.